How's it going, guys? I'm here with my WWE Battleground 2013 pay-per-view review. Pay-per-view went up the air about an hour ago, actually. Yes, I'm pretty late making this review. No, well, not pretty late, but I just didn't feel the need to make it right away. Pay-per-view overall wasn't that great of a show by any means. I honestly think it was better than Night of Champions. Well, I think you compare it to either as good or pretty much on the same level. I think a lot of people are going to look at this pay-per-view and crap on it just because of the ending of the main event, which isn't, that's not right at all to judge an entire pay-per-view based off the main event. It's honestly stupid. I see people do it all the time. That's why this pay-per-view is probably going to get a bad rep because of the main event, which I understand it's the main event, it's a match everyone wants to see, but still, it's like, you're not going to judge the entire card based off one match. That's not right. I mean, to me, the rest of the pay-per-view was perfectly fine. I didn't think anything was really that bad, but just, people are going to shit on this pay-per-view just because of the main event, like I said, which is, honestly, is not cool to do. But on the pay-per-view, of course, we had the 30-minute kickoff show before the pay-per-view started. The actual panel for the pay-per-view was actually Josh Matthews, The Miz, Titus O'Neil, and Tensai, which actually, they were actually pretty good. I mean, Tensai got on my nerves a few times, him just being an idiot. Not him being an idiot, but like him, he got annoying with the yes thing, got pretty annoying. But the panel, I didn't mind it this time, so kudos to WWE for actually giving me a panel, or giving us a panel, not just me, that actually, didn't mind at all. There was an interview during the kickoff with Paul Heyman and Ryback. Basically, Heyman saying Ryback's going to beat Punk. I honestly don't really remember what he said. It was nothing really worth mentioning. Then, of course, they had the kickoff match, which was Dolph Ziggler versus Damien Sandow. Match was alright. It was nothing special at all. It was the first time they've ever gone one-on-one against each other, so I wasn't really expecting a 5-star match, but it was just a alright match. It was like a Raw match, basically. Sandow actually tweaked his knee in the match. I'm not sure if that's just playing off an injury or if he actually torqued it, or tweaked it. Not twerked. Let's not talk about twerking in this video. Tweaked his knee, which they actually played off into the show. Well, they didn't play it off in the show, but they talked about it during the show. Tweaked his knee. Ziggler capitalized on it with a zigzag 1-2-3 won the match. Nothing really more than talk about that. But whatever. Then it was announced that the world title match is actually opening the show, which, got to start things off with a bang, I guess. So let's get on to the actual show itself, which was kicked off, like I just said, by the Battleground Hardcore Rules match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Alberto Del Rio versus Rob Van Dam. This was a damn good match, no pun intended. Sorry for the lame pun, by the way. Just very entertaining. Definitely a really good way to start off a show. RVD, didn't hesitate bringing out, some ladders, some chairs, some basically weapons. He's just pulling out some weapons, and they're going at it. You saw RVD hit a 5-star frog splash from the outside on the Del Rio with the ladder on top of him, which was pretty sick. Went for the Rolling Thunder, but missed. Basically, RVD was pretty much getting all his shit in, basically. It was just, like I said, a fun match. Back and forth, not on near falls. Del Rio actually looked pretty good in this match. It was actually funny. There actually was a spot where, I feel like I'm talking really fast. I'm going to slow down a little bit. There actually was a spot in the match where Ricardo broke up the cross-arm breaker on RVD when Del Rio had it. And then Del Rio and Ricardo kind of had like a, stare down, like, Del Rio's like, you still work for him. Basically, Del Rio's looking at him like, hey, you can come back to me if you want. If you don't, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Ricardo said no, hit him with the bucket. I don't know why he carries that bucket around still. Yeah, Del Rio beat the shit out of him. Ending came when Del Rio hit a drop toe hold on RVD onto a steel chair. Super kicked him into the chair, basically messed RVD's arm up with the steel chair. Apply the cross arm breaker, RVD taps out, so Del Rio retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Like I said, very entertaining and a great opening match. That's a good thing. Bad thing, Del Rio is still the World Heavyweight Champion. It's very sad. But yeah, great way to open the show. Next, we had a Real Americans promo with Zeb Coulter, basically saying that Canadians stuck into the show today. Average Zeb Coulter stuff, which will lead into the next match, which was announced this morning on WWE.com. Santino, Marella, and the Great Khali versus the Real Americans. I'm not going to go into detail about this match because basically what it sounds like garbage, and basically what it is. The only thing worth talking about this match was Cesaro hit the Cesaro swing on the Great Khali. He spun him around, threw him, and then basically, like, he didn't, like, roll him up, but, like, he did the thing where you grab their legs between your arms, you know that pin where they put the legs, and, like, you know what I'm talking about. If you saw, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Got the 1-2-3 that way. So the Real Americans win. Nothing to talk about the match besides the Cesaro swing on Khali, which, by the way, Cesaro is going to get really over with that swing. I guarantee Cesaro will be big with that swing. I guarantee it. So yeah, that match, nothing special, just Cesaro swing is awesome. Next we go on to the Intercontinental Championship match, Curtis Axel versus R-Truth, which actually wasn't a bad match. I was actually kind of into this match, to be perfectly honest. Curtis Axel and R-Truth, you wouldn't think would mix very well together, but they actually put on a pretty good match. I'm not going to say it was great. I'd probably say this is definitely a Raw-worthy match, but it was good. I was entertained by most of it, and yeah, Curtis Axel retained with, of course, his neck breaker, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the hell it is. On R-Truth to get the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, just a fine match. Nothing more to talk about. It's just, you know, good match. Next we had the Divas Championship match, AJ Lee versus Brie Bella. Really good Divas match. For a Divas match, this was, you can almost argue, borderline great for a Divas match, that is. I was pretty much into it. No, it was pretty good back and forth action. Brie looked good. AJ looked good. I mean, figuratively and, you know, in-ring wise. So it was a good Divas match. I was surprised how good it was, or it turned out to be. For, you know, I wasn't really expecting anything good, but I had my eyes on the screen. Well, I already had my eyes on the screen for obvious reasons, but for a Divas match, thumbs up for them, for trying. But of course, ending came with Tamina choking out Nikki in the outside, and then, you know, throwing her into the ring apron, and Brie was checking on her, and AJ hit a roll up, get the 1, 2, 3, retain the Divas title. So looks like this is going to continue. I don't think anyone really cares, but, you know, hey, what are you going to do with the Divas, really? So yeah, nothing special from that, but, you know, good Divas match. Next we had a Rhodes family interview, basically them saying how tonight they're going to go out and, you know, do it for the Rhodes family to, you know, they're not a perfect family, but, you know, they're a family nevertheless, and they're going to go out and win the match for themselves, which would lead into the Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns match. Definitely match of the night, in my opinion. This was just an awesome match. The crowd made it that much more special, if you ask me. Just everything about this match, in my eyes, was just awesome. I loved this match. Easily a match I can see myself watching over anything else in this card. This was great. Rhodes and Goldust looked great. You know, Rollins and Reigns looked great, of course. Just, I can't get over it. The crowd was going nuts this entire match, makes it that much better. It was awesome. Rhodes hit a muscle buster, which was great. You know, pretty much the Shield got their signature stuff in. Rhodes and Goldust got their signature stuff. Of course, you know, Cody Rhodes and Goldust got the hot tag, which, you know, crowd erupted for. When both guys got in the ring, they erupted for when Goldust got in, and they erupted when Cody got in. Cody was mildly over, by the way. He was, he had the crowd in the palm of his hands. Just outstanding. Just awesome match. I can't really say anything less than that. Goldust is busting out some stuff I haven't seen him either do, or haven't seen him do in a while. You know, he busts out not a cross arm breaker, a cross body from the top, which I thought he was going to go for a moonsault at first, because Cody Rhodes hit a moonsault early, you know, not that long before this, and I thought he was going to hit a moonsault. I'm like, dude, you're going to kill yourself, but he actually ended up hitting a cross body, and it was just a great match, very entertaining, and you can actually feel the emotion in this match. When the Rhodes family came out together, you felt for him. Like, you felt like, man, this is such a great moment for that family. You really did feel for him, so I thought that added to the match that much more, and just, like I said, tremendous, just awesome match. Match of the night, without a doubt, in my opinion. Ending was just that more sweeter. You had Dusty and Ambrose to go at it. Dusty, of course, hit the bionic elbow on Ambrose, knocked him down. Goldust hit a spear on Roman Reigns on the outside. Rollins went to run into Rhodes, but Rhodes was able to counter into Crossroads. Hit Crossroads 1, 2, 3 for the win. Crowd went crazy. Just such a great moment for the Rhodes family as well, man. They hugged it out in the ring. They honestly acted like they couldn't believe what they just did. It was this awesome moment. You couldn't honestly, like I said, help but feel for them. I almost wanted to cry, man. That was like a tearjerker. That was awesome, especially when they got on the stage. Some of the locker room came out, like Justin Gabriel and the Usos and Caitlyn and such. Some names came out and like congratulated them. Just such a great moment for the Rhodes family. Just awesome. Just the whole segment, match, everything awesome. Can't stretch that enough. Next, we had Brad Maddox backstage, basically freaking out, saying, "Oh my God, the Rhodes family won. They're back in the WWE. Seth and Triple H left. I don't know what I'm gonna do." And Vicky's just sitting there laughing at him, which segment was honestly completely pointless. Which would lead into another pointless thing. You had Kofi Kingston versus Bray Wyatt. I'm not gonna go into detail with this match at all. It was just, you know, another match you'd see on a Raw. Nothing more than that. There was actually a cool spot though where Kofi dove on the outside onto all three members of the Wyatt family, which actually connected on all three of them, because if you see Kofi do that spot, he usually overshoots the shit out of it, so to see him actually hit it was kind of like, okay, that was neat. Pretty funny thing, Bray Wyatt tried doing the thing where he hangs down the rope and, you know, it's upside down. He tried to do like some exorcism shit crawl to Kofi, but he totally failed, because he totally failed it because he fell, which I'm like, my god. Bray Wyatt. This guy, I'm going to get heat for this. I don't care. Overrated as can be. People like the character. Honestly, people are going to say they like him for him. Like, oh, I like his wrestling ability, I like everything. Honestly, everything about him is hype in my opinion. He's not that good of a wrestler. His promos aren't, you know, the video package promos are great, but his live promos aren't, you know, nearly as good as everyone puts him out to be. He's extremely overrated in my eyes. Like I said, I'm going to get heat for it, but I don't care. It's just my opinion. Even, I think, I probably tweeted it. Someone even said, like, people like the Bray Wyatt character more than the wrestler himself. So, I don't really see anything in Bray Wyatt. I've never saw anything in him when he was Husky Harris. I don't see anything in him now. But, beautiful ending, might I add. Kofi Kingston went for the SOS. Bray Wyatt was able to counter into the Sister Abigail for the 1-2-3 to get the win. Just, you know, whatever match. Bray Wyatt matches aren't usually that good anyways. I almost call him Bryant because, oh yeah, because I think Cole called him Bryant on commentary. But Bray cut a promo after the match. Nothing special. Next, we then had CM Punk versus Ryback. Another match I'm not going to go in detail into. I really wasn't into the match. Their Hell in a Cell match from last year was better than this match, in my opinion. And that match was 10 minutes. It wasn't anything spectacular at all. This match kind of was just like whatever. You saw Ryback basically beat down Punk majority of the match. I honestly wasn't into it. I wasn't feeling it. Especially the ending just made me turn off to the feud even more. You know, Paul Heyman, I almost forgot his name for some reason. Tried to distract CM Punk by getting the mic saying he's the best in the world. Ryback hit a clothesline, or the meat hook, I should say. Powerbomb Punk, I think, twice. Punk kept kicking out, and then, you know, something tried happening with them, and then, you know, Paul Heyman tried distracting the ref. What happened was Ryback was distracting the ref. Heyman tried hitting Punk with a kendo stick. Referee caught him before he can hit him. It was basically telling him, like, hey, Heyman, get away from him. As he's doing that, Ryback tried picking Punk up. Punk kicked him with a low blow and won the match like that. You know what's funny? Hell in a Cell. You know how Punk beat Ryback? Via low blow. You know how he beat Ryback tonight? Via low blow. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do with Ryback. Ryback keeps getting screwed over, it seems like. Especially when he's around Punk. When he gets around Punk, his career really gets screwed over, but I don't know what they're doing with Ryback now. The fact that he's lost to, you know, Punk now, when he just, you know, got out of the feud Cena a few months ago, which he lost in. I don't know. They can always have a rematch at Hell in a Cell. Please don't. But, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm just going to say that. Punk wins match. I wasn't into it. I didn't like it. Whatever. And from there on, we go into the main event, which was for the vacant WWE Championship match. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton. Funny thing, before it happened, the pay-per-view went off the air. Apparently there was a power outage or whatever in Buffalo, which was where the pay-per-view was at tonight. And no one was able to see the main event, or the entrance, not the entrances, but it cut off. Everything had to stop. They even stopped the actual place because the actual power outage. They didn't know what was going on. No one knew what was going on. The pay-per-view eventually came back on the air before the main event started. You can definitely tell they were having technical difficulties because when Orton came out, his music slowly played, and then when Bryan came out, his intro got cut off, and they didn't have the graphics or anything. They didn't even have the WWE logo in the corner. They didn't have the hashtag in the corner. They didn't have any of that for the entrances, so they, you knew they were having technical difficulties at that point, which I think really sucked that they had a power outage because honestly, that kind of, this sounds really stupid saying it, but that kind of killed my vibe for the match. I kind of like wasn't even looking forward to the match anymore because I was like, man, what if it happens again? You know, like it's in the back of your mind, like, you know, if it goes out, I'm not going to see the main event or whatnot. So that kind of sucked. That kind of killed my vibe for the rest of the show, which it sounds like I said stupid because it's a power outage, but like, I don't know, I didn't feel like I was in the main event anymore. I kind of lost interest after that, which is very unfortunate because you had Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton in the ring. Felt to have probably a great match, but I didn't really care to see it anymore, which is very unfortunate, like I just said. But the match overall, it was good. I don't think it was as great as their Night of Champions match was. I may have to rewatch this match again because like I said, I really wasn't into it. I wasn't feeling it. But it was really good for the most part. They did some sick spots, you know, when Orton was able to counter Bryan's kick into a T-bone suplex. Something happened. I forgot how it happened. Bryan got thrown to the outside, which everyone popped for. Like, everyone was like, oh my god, that really just happened. I guess I missed it. I didn't see how Bryan got thrown to the outside. They did a Nigel McGuinness spot where, you know, Orton threw Bryan at the rope. And then Orton hit a clothesline. it was just a good match out of these two, as you would expect. Nothing less, nothing more. Well, if you have high expectations, then you expect more. But I thought it was a good match overall. I'm not going to really sit here and say it's a 5-star match because it wasn't. But I thought it was a good match. Just nothing really more to talk about. Ending was what really killed everyone's mood here. What happened was Bryan had the yes lock on Randy Orton. Big Show comes out, pulls the referee. I think he knocks him out. Gets in the ring, knocks Daniel Bryan out. You'd think, okay, Big Show's now screwing over Daniel Bryan because he has to. Because you can tell he had that face where he's like, oh, I can't. I have to do this. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. And then Maddox comes out. Out comes Scott Armstrong. Count to 1, 2, 3 for Randy Orton. Big Show pulls him out, knocks Scott Armstrong out. So now he knocked out 2 referees, gets in the ring, knocks out Randy Orton. Max is like, what the fuck just happened? Big Show is celebrating, and the pay-per-view goes off the air. Yeah. The pay-per-view went off the air. They didn't even make an official announcement of the match, and then no contest, nothing. They just went off the air. The match is still going on, by the way. To this minute, there's no official decision. It's still going on, but yet the pay-per-view went off the air. And Big Show's music went off, by the way. They played his music when he knocked out Randy Orton. So, I mean, I know why they did this. It's obviously going to lead to a Hell in a Cell match with Orton and Bryan. To keep Big Show or anyone else from interfering, in the cell. But it was honestly, so dumb. Out of all things they could have thought of for the finish, they had to think of that. They couldn't have to do a thing where they did a Cena and Punk from Night Champions last year where both men got pinned, or maybe they both got DQ'd or counted out, or just beat the hell out of each other where the referee couldn't control it. They couldn't think of anything else besides that. It was dumb. Just a very stupid decision on their part. I don't really know. Everyone knows post-SummerSlam season for WWE isn't usually the best. I mean, the last couple of years it's been pretty good, with the whole Nexus in 2010, and then 2011 and 2012 you had, the whole thing with Punk, but this year, not really feeling it. I mean, I don't know what to think. Hell in a Cell's in 3 weeks. Good luck trying to build enough interest for that, by the way. But, I don't know, I don't know. This pay-per-view, I don't think it was horrible. I thought it was good, but, I don't think it was anything must-see. Besides the Rhodes and Shield stuff, that's a must-see, but everything else is just, nothing special. But, I hope you guys, this review wasn't all that great, mainly because the pay-per-view wasn't all that great. But, how much time did I waste if you guys who actually watched the entire thing? Oh, I only wasted 18 minutes. Well, not that bad. But, for those who watched it, leave your comments below on pay-per-view and thoughts on the video. And, yeah, I'm out, guys. I'll see you later. Maybe.